Most inbound leads are a complete waste of time, not because your traffic is bad, but because founders and SDRs make emotional decisions based on incomplete data. I've built an automation that in under a minute researches the lead, scores it against a strict ICP, decides whether it's worth attention or not, and then sends you a follow-up email deciding what to do next with that lead. Here's what usually happens with inbound. So someone will fill out a form and the data will be messy and the budget field will be all messed up. And then someone from your team will sort of look at it and just decide, okay, maybe this will, or maybe this won't work. From there, you're not actually qualifying the leads and you're basically just guessing, and you'll end up wasting your time on a bunch of leads that don't actually matter at all. So I've built this workflow that turns an inbound form submission into a researched, scored, prioritized lead with clear next actions so you actually know what you're doing. Like always, if you do want this automation, I've left it down in the description for you to download. I'll show you a demo first and then we'll get straight into how it works. So first of all, let me show you what comes out the other side after a lead has filled out one of our forms. So this is the type of email that will come out the other side once a lead fills in our inbound form. So it first gives us a score out of 100, basically how well the lead matches our ICP. Then it gives us a recommended product fit based on what we do as a business. So the system pulls from our company context and just decides what is the best thing to offer them based on who they are. Then at the bottom, it gives us a little qualification summary. So a little bit of research about who the lead is and then why or why not they're qualified for what we're offering. So it's easy to see that as soon as you read this email, no one needs to think. The decision's already made for us, and then we already know what we're gonna do with this lead, whether they're warm or whether they're cold. The next thing now would be to show you how this works in n8n and what it actually does to produce this output for us. So here's how the workflow looks within n8n. So there's 4 main sections operating the workflow. I'll go through them one by one and then show you how this works for it to produce that output that we just saw. So the first part of the workflow is researching and scoring the inbound lead. This section basically researches who the lead is and then scores them against the ICP and then generates us a summary for it to be sent back to us. So the first thing we do is we take in the Typeform trigger. So this is what the user has typed into the form and then we just consume it in the n8n workflow. The second thing we do is we clean up the budget. We do this because sometimes when someone's filling out a form, they might not type in an exact number or it might come in different every time. So someone might type in a form and just say their budget is up to 10 grand or the budget is over 50 grand, or they might type in an exact number. This workflow basically just captures that and basically just keeps it as clean information to use in the rest of the workflow. The next part is researching the lead themselves. So this is important, of course, for knowing who the lead is and knowing what to offer them and why we should offer the thing to them. If we open up the Perplexity node here, we can see the prompt that we've given it. So we've told it it's an SDR agent and we've told it what to research. So give us their company overview, their basics, the technology and tech stacks, the website analysis, and social and activity signals. So of course, I know Perplexity sometimes won't be able to scrape specific platforms like LinkedIn or like Instagram, etc. But we've just told that anyway in case it can pick it up. We've also told Perplexity to give us their pain points based on their industry and observable data, so we actually know why we're offering our services to them. Once we've got all the research from Perplexity, it's time to score them against our ICP. So this model here, GPT 5.1, will look at the data that we've got at the moment and decide what score to give the lead out of 100 based on how well they match our ICP. If we open up this node here, we can see in the system prompt that we've just given them pretty much just our ICP in general. So we've just told them, of course, that they use HubSpot or Smart Lead, low outbound maturity, etc., etc. So they will look at this, we feed in their Typeform submission, and then tell it to return us an output with the ICP score out of 100. Once you've got the score out of 100, we can then use that to determine what to do down the line based on if they're a warm lead or a bit of a cold lead. So let's go back out of the workflow and see what's next. So the next part will be to generate a summary, which is what you guys saw in that email. So this model here, GPT 5.1, once again, will take in their research, it will take in the score and just tell us an overview about who the person is, and who basically just who they are in general, so we have an idea of who the person is. But the next part of this workflow, it decides what we're going to offer them as our service. So this product fit agent is connected to a Supabase vector database, which basically just has our company brain and just like a company knowledge store about everything we offer and everything we do. So again, it's going to take in the research and then just take in the summary, and based on that, it's going to decide what we're going to offer them and why. So this agent's going to assess the data, it's going to look at their pain point, it's going to look at their industry and decide what should we offer them and what is the most likely chance of us closing that deal. Because this agent's connected to a vector store, we can basically upload as many documents as we want, and in that sense tell the AI as much as we can about our business and what we should do. So that way it has like a full grasp and like full knowledge on what our business does, and from there it can select the best thing to offer this person. Let me show you an example of how that works. So I've got it set up in a Google Drive, but this can really just be hosted anywhere. But basically you would just upload a document about your business, like one pages, any marketing documents and anything like that, and then it will just get ingested and put in the AI's knowledge store. So from there it could just be used in any of the AI's responses, and then from there, as you've just seen, the AI can then figure out what is the best service to offer the warm lead. And then from here the workflow basically splits into 2 branches. So if the score is over 70, meaning it's a bit of a prioritized and a better lead, it goes up to this branch here. And then if it's a lower score, below 70, the lead is a bit of a colder one and they're a bit less of a priority, it goes down into this branch here. Basically in this top branch, there's nothing special. It will just add the lead to our CRM as a warm lead and then go ahead and send us that alert email, which is what you saw earlier in the video. If it's a colder lead, it will come down into this branch here. And then in this branch here, if the lead is a bit of a colder one, they need a bit of warming and nurturing. The AI is basically going to use its data from earlier in the workflow to write 3 nurture emails and basically just a nurture sequence to warm up the lead for when they're a bit more educated, and then we can better offer them our services to be a better fit for them. So of course, I've just got these prompted really simply. I'll just open up the system prompt right now. So I've just given it an example email, just told it to mimic it. But of course, if you do want to personalize these and have these written in an exact tone of voice, you can absolutely prompt the AI to do that for you. Once it's done that, it's going to merge our email outputs and then it's going to add it to our software that we use for sending out cold emails. So right now I'm using a smart lead. It's just going to add it to a smart lead campaign for us. Then it's going to add it to a CRM as a low priority task. And then again, it's going to send us an alert email message. So let's go ahead and show you how this works from end to end. So all the way from filling in the Typeform to us receiving our alert email and it getting added into our CRM. So I've got the Typeform pulled up here. Realistically, this could just be any inbound form. So if you've got your own VSL website or you've got like a HubSpot form or anything like that, this could be connected to it as well. But we'll just type in some example information just to show you how it works. So we'll go Charlie Bennett and then we'll go Charlie at scalechain.io, scalechain. Okay, so they will just type in their role. So for example, it would be a founder. They will type in their team size. So I'll just put 5 in here, or this would just be whatever their team size is. And then this will be the budget. So it can either be a range or exact. This is where I told you guys earlier that some people might not type in the exact number or they might just put in some words. So if I put in, for example, over 10K, our workflow will be able to extract this and understand what that actually means. So let's just hit submit on that. And then from there, we can go ahead and see how our workflow will handle this. So back in n8n now, if we hit execute workflow, it's going to take in the Typeform and clean up the budget for us. Then it's going to research a prospect to find out who they are, what they do, and what their pain points are. And then from there, it's going to score it against our ICP. So we told our AI what our ICP is, and it's going to score it out of 100. Once it's done that, it's going to generate the summary. After that, the product agent is going to look at what we do as a business and find out what is the best thing to offer this person. From there, if the score was above 70, which it was in this case, so a higher priority lead, it's going to add them to a CRM as a warm lead and then send us an alert email, which it just did. If it was a colder lead, it would have come down into this branch and written them a nurture sequence, all personalized. Then it would have added them to a smart lead campaign. Then it would have added them to a CRM as a lower priority lead because they were lower score. And then it would have sent us another alert email. So a little bit of a different one, but an alert email nevertheless. So the workflow is complete. It sent us an alert email so we can go ahead and look at what that looks like. And we can see that has just come in. So we get a new lead, new warm lead, Charlie Bennett. It's given us a score of 72. Then it's given us a recommended product fit, why it fits, the suggested outbound angle or messaging hook, cautions, and then the estimated close likelihood. And then it's obviously given us a qualification summary. So a little bit of research about who they are and then what they do. In this case, it seems like Perplexity couldn't actually find any information about the company, but it's good that it told you this because if you're an SDR or you're a founder, you would know how to approach it. Regardless, based on what they filled in the form, the AI has still managed to surface a recommended product for them, and it's even given us a bit of a direction of what we should do because we don't know anything about this company's market or offer. Then if we come over to our CRM, so the ClickUp is the CRM I'm using, we can see that it's added their name, their email, and their company, and their lead status, which the AI categorized into the CRM for us automatically. Of course, I haven't got the CRM fully built out. This is just a really minimal one I've created for the video. But yeah, you can see that it's categorized it for us and it would be really useful to help us section out all the leads that have come in. And that is basically it when it comes to this workflow. Of course, this can be expanded so you can personalize the AI to write things in a certain way, or you can make it take in different information from different sources as well. Something like this is really useful if you're a founder or an SDR coming in with leads that are sometimes rubbish and sometimes quite useless. So it will kind of help you to categorize leads and filter them a bit better so you're actually dealing with higher quality clients. Again, if you do want this workflow, I've left it in the description for you to download. I've got a new format of video that I'm working on, which you guys will see soon, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I hope that was useful and I'll see you guys later.